The survey has two distinctly distinct phases: recovery and restitution. The recovery concerns the acquisition of data, and it is the moment in which we carry out the survey, say, on the artifact. At the ends of the recording systems we have the manual or direct survey and the laser scanner. The difference between these two methods is no different than that between copying a page by hand or copying it with the copier. In the first case, it is evident that we have the opportunity to read the whole text and rewrite it after understanding it. In the second case, with the copier, we have a perfect copy of the text, but which we have not read. Among the disadvantages of the first, that is, of the direct survey, we have long execution times and the impossibility of reaching those points that we cannot detect, either because they involve a high risk or because they are inaccessible. In the second case, with the laser scan, however, we have a very rapid relief, but which, in practice, only provides us with the skin of the product, in addition to the problem of managing points. Between these two extreme methods there is photogrammetry, which has the great advantage of transferring over time the possibility of direct survey, in the sense that photogrammetry provides us with the three-dimensional photographic image of the object, which we can measure even after years. With the advantage that when we take the shot the times are minimal, while the return time is a function of what we want to acquire. The phase of data representation, commonly called restitution, concerns the moment in which we must communicate the survey to others or archive a finalized survey. So it's a matter of putting in order what we acquired in the second half. It is evident that in the first case, that is in the case of direct survey, we have a series of measurements, while in the case of laser scan, we have a point cloud, which is to be managed anyway. In the case of photogrammetric survey, we can even resort to stereometric modeling, with which it is possible to reconstruct the model on a one-to-one scale. Obviously, photogrammetry provides us only with what is visible on the frames, while, for all that is not visible, it is up to the detector to integrate the data according to his knowledge. Another fundamental fact is that when we talk about relief, we can refer to the relief of something that really exists or to the relief of an idea, as in the case of the project. In any case, for the purposes of the course, it is possible to carry out a survey of a building already built or simply designed. Obviously, in the latter case, there is the advantage of already having all the data available, and therefore it is only a question of making a representation of the object. Obviously, for the purposes of stereo representation, the project data will be insufficient and it will be necessary to integrate them in order to represent the building on a one-to-one scale. And here there is only to give vent to fantasy, always respecting the needs of what we want to represent. Finally, in the case of the survey to be carried out within the course, we must always keep in mind the time available, which is 225 hours. This is an economic problem, and when it is said to be economic, it does not mean that it is cheap, but it means the best possible result with minimal effort. So what matters when we do the job is performance. Best result in less time. Otherwise, if the weather becomes huge, let's say that everyone is good. So if those who face the job know perfectly and are masters of modern survey techniques, it is clear that they can carry out a complete survey, concentrating essentially on reading the monument and on its representation.
Essenzialmente sulla lettura del monumento e sulla sua rappresentazione.
In the case, in my opinion, the more general one, of those approaching in relief without knowing the new techniques, it is good that they decide whether to carry out only the recovery or only the restitution.